What's goody? It's Monday. We're back again, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. How you doing today?
Hey, it's the day after the Super Bowl. Like you said, it should be a holiday. It feels like that now. I'm back in Ohio too. Just got back here late Saturday night. I was able to watch the Super Bowl with some family. But I tell you what, getting off that plane, stepping into that cold, as soon as you leave that like little window or little door that they have on the airplane, you can feel that air just hit you in the face. So I was like, oh yeah, we here. Our dog was shaking, shivering. Maverick was like, I ain't used to this, which is my about to be 2 year old. So that was definitely an awakening. And then I almost feel like you that Super Bowl hangover plus the cold plus moving, it just feels a little bit off. Like it doesn't feel like I'm in real life right now. So I gotta step back into the real world here soon. But it's all good. It's all love. Like we're back with family. Got to watch some Super Bowl. Got to see Bad Bunny perform, which was awesome for the culture. I'm half Puerto Rican uh, as well. So Bad Bunny, he stood on business, which I can always respect, and he's definitely huge inspiration for a lot of minority people. So that was fun. But yeah, everything is good, man. Just trying to get back to normal life here soon and get back to just feeling like I don't know, feeling like I can sit down and relax and just watch some good old sports without thinking about all these other things going on, which in America these days, I don't know if we'll get to that anytime soon.
Feeling like you're at home again, feeling
Yeah.
comfort. Yeah, feeling like you don't have to think about your next move. I get it. Today was luckily a national holiday for me. Like I said on the podcast weeks ago, I took this day off in anticipation that the Broncos might make it to this game. And I didn't take that day off the schedule. So it was a good day for me to have off. I tried to be a little productive. Went to a custom suit place here in Upper Arlington, Ohio. Um, Kind of expensive, kind of pricey. And then I was doing some pricing, and I went to another store, and it's a little bit cheaper, but trying to figure all that out because I don't have my suit yet. And then I got to let them know, the groomsmen. So I got to let you know and the other guys know what color suit you guys got to wear as well. So I kind of got to get on it with May 15th. It's coming before we know it. So I know you came back to Ohio at a cold time, but on the good side, it's only getting warmer from here on out. So, I think from October, I would say November, December, January, February, it gets colder every month in Ohio. And then it starts to get warmer. So February, March, all the way up until no, the fall, it'll be getting warmer. So you did come at a good time because it's going to get warmer as the months go on, and before you know it, it'll be March, and we'll be talking about March Madness, and then it'll be June, and we'll be talking about the NBA Finals. So life as you know it, especially when you have a kid, goes by extremely fast. It used to go by slower when we were kids, but I've noticed, when you got to pay the bills, life goes by pretty fast. So hopefully some warm weather is right around the corner for you. But yeah, that Super Bowl last night was pretty lousy. What did you think? Outside of the Bad Bunny, I know you were excited to see that. I was thinking about your family. Um, it was probably one of the most exciting parts of the Super Bowl. What did you think of the matchup and the game itself?
Yeah, the overall result went as I thought it would. I know in our last pod we were talking about our predictions, and I felt that Seattle would win by around 10 points or so. So they definitely proved that that was the case, that they were just a better team. The Patriots weren't ready for this moment. They overachieved this year, or also just kind of had like a semi-easy path to make it to Super Bowl. And it showed that Seattle was just more battle tested and just had a better overall team. And they just dominated, even though their offense didn't do much. Their defense was so dominant. And it was, like you said, pretty lousy and boring game, unless you like defenses, because there was some pretty good defense being played out there, but also bad offense. So from the Patriots side, at least. So I wasn't too surprised. I know we talked about throwing down some bets, and I told you I was excited to get some bets in because I'll be back where it's illegal. Did throw $10 on the game. I got my $30 return. That was nice. I ended up doing Seattle to win the first half, and I did Sam Darnold and Drake May to throw 175 yards, which was a little bit. It almost didn't happen because Drake May was like could barely get 9 yards.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
he ended up getting it at the end, and they started having to throw the ball. They got a couple first downs, got a touchdown, whatever. And then I did Drake May for 25 rushing yards or more. So got my little $30. Bad Bunny did his thing, so we good.
Love it. I did one bet. Well, I did two bets. I did a $5 just anytime touchdown for Kenneth Walker. That didn't hit. The reason I did that was because if you hit the bet, you would divide up $3 million with whoever took Kenneth Walker as a first or last anytime touchdown, but first or last touchdown. So I did that, and then I did 100% profit boost, $25 for the Seahawks to win money line. Well, as I move forward in betting, I've said this in the past, but I haven't held true to it. If it's anything more than $10, it's just money line, not even an alternate spread, just straight up money line. And I looked everywhere. I went through 7 betting apps and I couldn't find. They were all parlay boosters. I couldn't find just pick the winner. I was able to find one. It was Fanatics, and boosted it 100%. So $25 got me $20 back. So that was cool. Now I just got to continue to drill that in my brain for when NBA comes around. All right, just who wins and who loses.
Yeah, yeah. Player props are not it. I'm okay with the spreads if it's a team. One thing I've learned about the spreads is like in just money line, I'll never pick a team that has a below 500 record ever. I'm done with that. So I don't do that. And then the spread, like it has to be a team that's playing a team that's below 500. I'm like, all right, bet. Like this team is a scrub team, bro. Like
Yeah,
they should be able to cover the spread as long as it's not something astronomical spread, you know. So that I'm cool with the spreads, but yeah, you're right. Anything more than $10, no player props. And you cannot get carried away with the parlays, even if you're doing $10 or less, because it still adds up. So
yeah,
just try to stick with money lines, and if you want to be a little more risky, spreads with money lines are the way to go.
yeah. So I'm gonna do that moving forward. We'll see how it goes. But a couple of notes on some additional thoughts I had on the game. It was really cool to see that Kenneth Walker, not only because of his last name, won the MVP, but because um, Terrell Davis from my Broncos was the last running back to win Super Bowl MVP, which is crazy. I would have thought another running back would have won in the last, since 1998. So that was really cool to see a running back get it. In today's day and age in the NFL, it's about passing and receivers. And if a quarterback has, 250 yards and 2 touchdowns, he usually gets the MVP. So it was really cool to see a running back get some shine. And then my other thought is the Drake May overall playoff performance. I think we've crowned Drake May a little bit too soon, and I've kind of done it myself. I said he's pretty good. He's probably the best one in that draft class, but we got to just wait and see more of Drake May. The sacks were an issue. He had 6 sacks in this game, and before the Broncos game, he had 10 sacks. So I want to say Broncos got like four on him as well. You're talking, 20 sacks over the course of the playoffs, and he was sacked a lot in the regular season. And then he had a lot of turnovers in the playoffs as well. I get it. He's young, but it's no guarantee that he's going to be back in these situations also. So, he gets the benefit of the doubt with he's young. But there's been plenty of young quarterbacks that come in and play well, and they don't continue that success and get back like they did early on. Think Joe Burrow. He's still playing well, but he can't get there. So I think Drake May is going to have to prove that he can play better next year. And then he's also going to have to prove and see how well the Patriots can do next year as well, because now they're playing a first place schedule. So they're out of conference games. They're playing the first place division winner of four different divisions. Yeah. So no longer are they're going to have to beat multiple playoff teams next year. They only beat one playoff team in the regular season this year. So next year they're guaranteed they're going to have to play four playoff teams. So I want to see more out of Drake May. That was my biggest takeaway from the game is, Drake May just he looked shell shocked, which I get, but he just didn't look ready for the moment.
Yep, I agree with that. Hold on, before I go any further, does my mic sound the same? Because it just unplugged. So maybe that's why I started sounding better earlier.
That's probably why he sounded. It sounds about the same. Yeah,
Let me just plug it back here real quick and see what happens. All right.
I
Sound
still hear.
low?
No, it sounds good.
All right, cool.
Sounds the same.
Bet. Yeah, so I think that what you said is very true about Drake May. I think we kind of do that as sports fans. We kind of see someone start to have success. Unless we've seen them fail a lot in the past, we just kind of assume they're going to continue to do that, even if they're young. Just going back to last year, you already can see a pretty good example with Jaden Daniels and what happened to him. Of course, his was more so injuries, but you never know what happens. It could be an injury, it could just be, or like CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud had a great rookie year, and then he hasn't panned out to be what we thought it could be either. So just because someone has one great year doesn't mean it's going to be consecutive, doesn't mean it's going to continue. That's why you really have to appreciate the greats, like obviously Tom Brady. That's why I kept saying, like, Patrick's still the guy in my head because he's done it so many times. It's hard to go against someone that's done it um, time in and time out. And then you got guys like Drake May coming in. You're like, oh yeah, he's the best. Like, nah, he's not. He's just not there yet. And that showed in this playoff run. Played some amazing defenses. They played the Texans defense, the Denver defense. They played Seattle's defense, and the Chargers defense wasn't a slouch either. So he did go up against some really high quality defenses. And I would say he doesn't have the best weapons around him when you look at some of the other top tier quarterbacks. Um, what Stephon Diggs, who's a little bit older now, been through injuries. I can't even really name too many of the other skill players. They got some decent running backs, but just overall, I think they need to get him some help in the receiver room. Um, Tight ends they got Henry and Hooper. Yeah, even the tight ends could use some
Yep.
help. Yeah, so I think overall in general, their offense uh, overachieved in my opinion. And if Drake May could continue to get better and show that he can step up in the playoff moments, then I think they have a future. But the AFC is going to be tough still. You're still going to have Patrick Mahomes. You're still going to have Josh Allen. You're still going to have Lamar Jackson. So it's still Joe Burrow. Like it's still top heavy with these quarterback talents. So who knows if he's going to be able to get back to where they just got to. So this might have been their only opportunity. But hey, you got to give it to him. He is young and he has the opportunity to get better. So we'll see.
Absolutely. But what I do like about him is, seems like a down to earth guy and seems like a good kid. Married at a young age. He just doesn't seem like he seems serious. That's the best way to about put it. He seems serious, and Bo Nix is kind of the same way. He seems serious, and that's what you want out of a quarterback. Looking at the Super Bowl betting odds very early for next year, 2026, 2027. Uh, I'll give you the top five. So Seattle Seahawks number one, Rams two, Ravens three, which is kind of surprising when they're getting another coach. Buffalo Bills four, Green Bay Packers five. So those are your top five Super Bowl odds for next year.
Who'd you say four was?
The Bills.
Oh, Bills. Gotcha. Okay.
Patriots, I think, are just outside of the top 10. And then the Broncos are two slots behind the Patriots. I agree with this might have been, the best opportunity in a long time. That's just how it goes. And when you think about it, even the Patriots that have won, 6 Super Bowls, they've been to 11. It might be 12, 11 or 12.
12,
That's not
12.
yeah, 12. That's not that many. The team behind them that has been to the most Super Bowls, the Denver Broncos, 8. You know, you know, if you're going by how long they've been a franchise and making it to 8, Super Bowls, I probably might see 2, maybe 3 more appearances for the Broncos in my lifetime. That's how hard it is to get back. So we'll see. And with all that being said, I don't know if Seattle's going to repeat. You know, they're the favorites right now, but it's so hard. I don't feel like they're that dominant that they'd be a repeat. I think the NFL is still wide open. Mahomes being hurt, Jalen Hurts is taking a little bit of a step back, and they got to figure out their offense coordinator. I still think next year could be a little bit similar to this year, where we don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I think I'm right on board with that thought process. I think it's Seattle still has I'm sure they're going to bring back most of their team. They have a great overall team, but they're, in my opinion, Sam Darnold didn't have to show that he can go win a game for you. And at some point in the future, you would assume in a playoff game, Super Bowl, that that's going to have to be the case. And maybe he can deliver. I'm not saying that he can't, but I think that in those scenarios, you're going to still, if you had to choose between him or Patrick Mahomes or him and Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, like I'm still leaning towards those guys. So I would assume that at some point that's going to happen, even if they get back to the playoffs. And I would put my money on the other quarterback if it was a tight game. But this year they did their thing, and so it's only right that they're at top of the betting list for next year. But if I was going to pick a winner right away, like starting right now, I don't think it would be Seattle. I'm not sure who would be, but I'll still probably be going to one of the teams that has the quarterbacks that I truly believe in, just because it's such a important position. Even though we saw this year that overall team might not have to lean on the quarterback as much, and we've seen that happen multiple times in the past, or almost like really this past year. There's a lot of scenarios where like these star quarterbacks that we all have seen dominate, just the team overall didn't get it done. So I don't know if that trend will continue, but in my mind, it's still I'm still looking at the quarterback first.
I think a big part of the star quarterback um, not getting over the hump as of recent, as in this past year, I think a good part of that is these teams that are winning and having the best records in the NFL, their quarterback isn't costing as much as Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow. I mean, the Bengals, their number one problem is the way they spend money, in my opinion. You know, the fans there will tell you, oh, they have the money to spend. It's not an issue. Yes, it is an issue because you got a receiver making a boatload of money. You got another receiver making a boatload of money. Then you got Burrow making money. And then what's suffering? Your defense. Now, Sam Darnold, he's not cheap, but he's also not Joe Burrow money. And look what happened. They have a solid team around him. They going on to go win the Super Bowl. And then the Patriots, they got a quarterback contract, very friendly. Broncos, rookie quarterback contract, very friendly. Commanders last year, 2 years ago, Jaden Daniels, rookie contract, very friendly. But once you pay your quarterback the big money, every other position you get less and less to put towards. So then you're paying two or three players a bulk of your money. And I think that, I mean, look at Russell Wilson with the Seahawks. They had 2 back-to-back years they went to the Super Bowl because, um, you know, they had Russ on a rookie contract, and he was like a third-round pick. So there are outliers, trust me. You know, Tom Brady and Mahomes, he was able to negate, you know, the deficiencies that come with paying him that much money. But even Patrick Mahomes is kind of underpaid. So had Patrick Mahomes had the highest paid contract, you know, maybe they would suffer a little bit. So that's something to watch out for in the future. Are these teams, there's Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen and Pat Mahomes and Burrow, are they are they making it harder to reach the Super Bowl at this point because, you know, they're not taking pay cuts, and that's what Brady did. A lot of people forget about that. Brady took a lot of pay cuts. He eventually got upset about it and left and went to Tampa, but a big part of their success is he wasn't getting, you know, the most paid as a quarterback.
Yeah, I think there's some truth to that. But at the end of the day, like the latter half of the Tom Brady Super Bowls, you can say a lot of that was him. A lot of it was the defense, right? But like you think of the skill players, like he didn't have much skill players, but he was clutch, and that's what Patrick Mahomes was as well. Like these guys are making clutch plays at the end of these games to win the game. And I still think that like if you have just a game manager in there, yeah, for sure you can still make it far. I just think this year just so happened that It's like two quarterbacks both being on well, Sam Darnold's making more than Drake May, I would assume, because of I don't know what Sam Darnold's contract was. But yeah, it's just like both of the quarterbacks, it was more of a team success. Where I guess always when we look at the Super Bowls, it's always like a team success. You always have to have other players step up. It's just so hard in this league because the quarterback is so important. Like that's just I understand your point and I agree with it a lot. But it's just for me, it's like the end of the day, like if you don't have a solid quarterback, it's harder for you to envision always being there, like always being there towards the end. Like you can count on, obviously it didn't happen this year, but you can always count on the Chiefs to be there because of Mahomes. You can always count on Josh Allen to be somewhere deep into the playoffs because of Josh Allen. You're not going to say that about Sam Darnold or Russell Wilson. Like, it's like they have to have so much more help from their teammates.
I see that point. I see that point too. What I say to that is it's the going rate. And we've talked about this personally on the side. And in the past, I was like Trevor Lawrence, man, they paid him way too much money. Like that is ridiculous. And it's because it's the going rate. If they don't pay him that, if one team doesn't pay these quarterbacks that much money, somebody else will. That doesn't make it right, though. It doesn't make it right. I think the quarterbacks are getting paid too much money. The dream situation for teams that are bad right now, the Raiders, the Browns, um, the Titans, teams that are bad, the dream scenario for them, you know what it is? It's not, let me go bring in the best free agent quarterback. Let me trade for Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, and let me go to the Super Bowl. Their best in their head way to get to the Super Bowl is let me draft a quarterback, a rookie quarterback in the first round, get him on a rookie contract that's nowhere near what these top guys are getting paid, and that's our Super Bowl window. Denver Broncos right now. All the fans know these 2-3 years are our Super Bowl window because we're going to have to pay Bo Nix. If he continues to play at this level, we're going to have to pay him, and then everything changes. Here's the top 10 quarterbacks paid in the NFL. And this is by average annual value. Dak Prescott, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Trevor Lawrence, Jordan Love, Tua Tagovailoa, Jared Goff, Brock Purdy, Justin Herbert, and Lamar Jackson. Cowboys and Dak, they have, I mean, of these 10 quarterbacks, Joe Burrow, Jared Goff, and Brock Purdy. No, actually, Brock Purdy did not play in the Super Bowl, did he? No,
Yes, he
it
did.
was
Yeah.
he did play. Okay.
Yeah, they played in the
Um,
Super Bowl against the Chiefs. What was that? 2 years ago? 3 years ago? 2 years ago?
yeah, I didn't. For some reason, I thought I'm confusing the year he got hurt. But either way, so Brock Purdy, um, Jared Goff, two,
Jared Goff has
and
played in
Joe.
the Super Bowl.
Yeah, so that's three. Three of these guys in the top 10 have you know, they've played in the Super Bowl. The other 7 haven't, which, I mean, it's hard to get to the Super Bowl. That's not the only point, but, like, you can Tua Tua was paid because it was the going rate, and now look where they're at. Now they're trying to trade him. He's getting paid $53 million a year. Brock Purdy, system quarterback. It's the going rate. If they don't pay him, somebody else will. Now, $53 million. They have to get rid of other talented players around their team. Think, what's his name for the Commanders now? Debo Samuel, and a couple guys on their offense and defensive line. So, um, Josh Allen, they can't support him. They're not able to get him a whole bunch of nice receivers because he's making 55 million. Dak Prescott 60 million. And then watch what happens when they have to pay CD or not CD. Um, what's the other receiver?
Pickens.
George Pickens. Yeah. So I've always felt this way. I think quarterbacks are overvalued because a lot of times there's only a certain few quarterbacks where they could be on any team and they're going to change your team. And then all the
Yeah,
others
I
just
think
can't
it's
get
a
paid
lot
because
of
it's
it
the
is
going
just
rate.
like you're right, it's the going rate, but that's what these GMs and that's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to be able to determine okay, this guy is worth this much, this guy isn't, and it's a hard job for them, of course. And you're right, like they don't want to. Like Tua is a perfect example, right? Like everyone is like, don't do that. Like that doesn't make any sense, and they still did it just because they wanted to stay relevant. And yeah, so like it's a tough job, but you're right. Like for the most part, you can only really give that big dollars to like 3, 4 quarterbacks and expect that no matter what happens around them, that they'll be able to step up enough to be able to overcome all the deficiencies around them. And it's a lot of it is kind of I would assume that Tom Brady and people like Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, LeBron James, these people messed up the concept of what you're thinking about it. Like, okay, how do you win for real? Because over the last 20 years, it's just been dominated by single athletes, you know, Patrick
Hmm.
Mahomes, Tom Brady, LeBron, like just one person making it all the way. Basketball is different, but it's the same concept as far as like thinking like we just need a star, we just need that one player, and I think that's kind of what people get caught up into is like, all right, like we got the quarterback, but in your situation, you explained that's really the best way to win a Super Bowl is to be able to get a young guy coming in, get all this talent around him, paying these guys. But the thing is, like if you get a young star quarterback, your window could be their whole career. Like if he's really that guy,
Yeah,
like someone like Bo Nix or something, your window's just like until he gets paid. so, so,
exactly.
so yeah, I still think the objective is to get that star young, and you can get him maybe a Super Bowl while he's in his younger years. But then, like Mahomes is the perfect example that you get a Super Bowl when he's younger, and then boom, you still have a big window. But of course,
I think he's the only example outside of Tom Brady. I think Mahomes is the only example. Hurts had a nice year. That he got paid, and they're competing for the Super Bowl almost
yeah,
every
I
year.
think Hurts is a good example. I think the problem really is the problem is these other guys had to beat Mahomes and they couldn't. Because you look at Josh Allen, you look at Lamar Jackson. If if Mahomes isn't there, I'm sure one of them could be doing something similar in the AFC, right? Because like I feel like it's every year it was either Joe Burrow, Josh Allen. Lamar hasn't had as much success in the playoffs, but it was like the Bills or the Bengals trying to beat the Chiefs, and they just couldn't get over the hump. And then the Patriots come in here as the new kids on the block and figure out a way to finesse their way into the Super Bowl. But yeah, I think both routes have a ways to winning, but your route is much more likely that you're talking about because there's only like 2, 3 guys you can expect to pay and get you there every year.
Yeah, I just feel like you want your quarterback to be really good, but you don't want him to be like top 3 good. Because if he's demanding top 3 money, it's putting you in a bad situation. And you brought up the point with, LeBron and Tom Brady, kind of skewed the way people feel about, bringing in a guy and you can compete every year. Tom Brady for sure. Basketball is completely different. You get one guy on your team, you can get there. You can get to the finals. Football is completely different. I mean, um, your quarterback can break his ankle the after right as he's winning the divisional round and going to the AFC Championship, and that's just one player. That's one player of 22 guys for between defense and
Yeah, but
offense.
what happened? We're talking about basketball and football. It is very different, but the quarterback position is way more equivalent to basketball than any other position. Because if you lose your quarterback, it's like losing LeBron James. It's like losing your star player. So it's the same concept. That's why your Broncos lost. If Bo Nix doesn't get hurt, you guys are playing a better game than the Patriots did against the Seahawks in the championship. So that's my opinion. Like I feel like Bo Nix definitely would have changed that game for you guys. And he's not
But
even
Bo
a
Nix didn't
star
have to
quarterback.
be. Yeah, exactly. He didn't have to. You don't need, in my opinion, you don't need a star quarterback. I think
I'm
it's
just
way overvalued.
I'm relating the position itself, like the position of quarterback, the similarities to like basketball and football. You can compare those two because they're so important. Like one player in basketball makes all the difference. One quality quarterback versus decent and bad quarterback makes all the difference. So like that's what I'm trying to say there. But no, I understand what you're
Yeah.
saying. It's just yeah, I don't think it can be. I don't know, man. Like you saw what happened with even your team. Like Bo Nix, he's not a star quarterback, but he was obviously a good quarterback. And if you don't have that, you have nothing. So it's just hard for these guys. What you're saying is like these people that are getting top three money aren't really top three. That's where the problem really is. So it's hard
They're
for
all getting
the
paid like top 3 players. They're all
yeah,
getting paid like the 15th best quarterback's getting paid like the 5th best quarterback.
yeah, exactly. That's where the
It's
problem is.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that'll ever I don't know if it'll ever change until someone, um, just starts paying less for quarterbacks because there's just
I
a
mean, yeah, it's
lot
just
of
gonna have to be when the next contract is up and he really isn't like an MVP caliber quarterback. They're just gonna have to say no. Like
yeah,
we either gonna move on or you're gonna take less. And it's gonna be hard for that to happen, but that's gonna be the only result. That's the only solution.
yeah, I agree. It's interesting stuff. I mean, look at there's just there's just so many bad quarterback contracts in the NFL. To name a few, Eno Smith, Kirk Cousins, Deshaun Watson, Kyler Murray, Tua, Trevor, Dak. I mean, 60 millions. It's crazy because it's not going to change. It's not going to change. So we'll see.
I
As
mean,
of
it could because you could saw what happened with the Seahawks this year, and like in a lot of the teams that did have success this year. So maybe this could be a little bit of a passing of the torch. You kind of did see that going back to a basketball reference. We saw how the kind of the big three era has kind of died in basketball, and you see more of these teams that actually have depth all around are the teams making it to the finals now.
it's true.
So we didn't think that the big three era was going to end. We're like, oh yeah, like you got to have two, three big stars, and now you see how that has changed, and it's
It
been
never
great for
works.
basketball.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I think
I
that
know.
that could happen in football as well. We just need a couple teams to win instead of Patrick Mahomes and this dominant quarterback. So maybe this is the start of that.
18. So Sam Darnold was the 18th average per year quarterback and just won a Super Bowl. So Geno Smith made more than him. Kirk Cousins, Watson, Murray. Um, Crazy, man. Crazy. 33 million. So Dak almost made double what Jalen or Sam Darnold made this year. Crazy, crazy, crazy. All right. Well, yeah, that's 33 minutes. That NFL talk went a little bit longer than I expected, but it was a good conversation. I like that one a lot. Looking at the NBA standings, it's time now. I feel so lost. I feel so lost. I haven't even been watching my Magic. I have NBA League Pass, but I've just been so busy, and I've been trying to focus on the NFL. But now we're gonna dig deep and transition to the NBA. So just looking at the standings right now, um, I guess the biggest thing we need to talk about is probably the Cavs getting Harden, and they're currently the 4 seed, and then maybe the Warriors getting. Did they get Porzingis? Is that who the Warriors got?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So those are some notable trades that I think of. Oh, and then McCain, Jared McCain. I thought OKC getting him for a first round pick and a couple second round picks is tremendous. He's going to fit
Oh,
great.
say what?
Jared McCain. Yeah, he got traded to OKC
I
for a
didn't even
first
know that.
round draft pick. Yeah, a first round draft pick and I think 3 seconds, which that doesn't mean any second round draft picks in the NBA or nothing. So yeah, I mean, I thought the Sixers probably could have got more. They probably should have got two for. I mean, McCain is pretty good as scorer, and anything that GM does over at OKC, you have to think he's winning. So I think that was a big pickup for them. Um, but yeah, what are your thoughts on some of those trades that I mentioned?
Yeah, so I think the most notable one, just for playoff implication, the one you just mentioned, I think is going to be helpful for Oklahoma City. But I guess the one that could swing the pendulum the most as far as who's going to make a deeper run. So I already think Oklahoma City is going to make a deep run. The Cavs, I like it. I don't like James Harden. I don't like his personality. I don't like his uh the way he treats just competition, I guess. don't like I don't like much about James Harden. Obviously, he's a good basketball player when he's focused and locked in. He can score, he can contribute. He's a little bit older now, but he can still be a quality player. So I think the overall fit with the Cavaliers is a good fit because we've seen what Harden has had in the playoffs, where he has had these moments where he just crumbles. It's horrible. He's absolutely horrible in the playoffs. Sickening to watch if you're a James Harden fan or any of the teams that he's played for. I think on this team, this is a good opportunity where he doesn't have to put up a lot of points. It would be helpful if he does at the playoffs, but Donovan Mitchell, I think he is. We've had conversations about him a couple weeks back. I think Donovan Mitchell is sweet. Like I think he's clutch. I think he's a playoff riser. And while James Harden is a playoff lower, I don't know if I said that right, but you know what I'm saying. James Harden goes down, Donovan Mitchell goes up in the playoffs. And I think that taking some pressure off of Donovan Mitchell as far as the ball handling duties. Garland wasn't giving him much. He was injured a lot. So I think it's an improvement from Garland. And I think that it can take a little pressure off of Mitchell, and I think he can set up Allen and Mobley well. So I think the fit is good. And I think this, in my opinion, can help them get to the championship game, which is they were my finals pick at the beginning of the year. Haven't been playing as good as I thought they would, but I think that this pickup can give them a little bit of a boost and help them get over the hump if James Harden can just beat any semblance of himself in the playoffs. So I actually really like the move for the short term. For the long term, obviously, was an older guy and will probably demand more money again, even though no one wants to give it to him. So I think it maybe might just be like a this year, next year type deal. But I think Cleveland has this team that is pretty good, so might as well shoot for the fences now.
Yeah, I think it's a player option for him in the offseason, and I think he demanded a trade partly because he wanted more money. So he was already
Yeah,
thinking about getting
not
it.
partly, 100%. Yeah,
Yeah. So um Cavs kind of have to pay him, or they just lose out on. I mean, it's also like a money situation too. If they got rid of the Garland contract, so I get that too. But I agree with you, Mitchell. He is a dope guard. He is sweet. Um, James Harden, I you know I know what he is. He's a really good regular season player. Um, he likes the paper. That's why he left his situation. I don't think he really cares about winning that much. And then back on the Mitchell thing, I think that this could help the Cavs actually a little bit because James Harden, he likes to have the ball and to create, and I think Mitchell. I think there's a little too much usage with Donovan Mitchell. I think he needs to be averaging kind of around the amount of assists that James Harden averages, closer to 10. And Mitchell for his career has only averaged about 5 assists, and I think his shooting volume is way too high with the talent they have on that team. And that was with Garland. I thought Mitchell could get his teammates more involved if he could take his playoff success to another level because let's face it, Mitchell is not a winner in the playoffs either. He's been trying to win playoff series and take teams to the conference finals as the guy, and he's never been the guy, in my opinion. I know it's hard to hear as Cavs fans, but since his days at Utah, he's been trying to be the guy and it hasn't worked. And I think his shooting volume and not really getting his teammates involved enough is part of that. So if Donovan Mitchell was a guy that was averaging 9 assists on top of his scoring, I think he would be better. His teams would get out of the first round, out of the second round. So maybe with James Harden coming over, James Harden can inspire Mitchell to get his bigs involved because that's what James Harden is. He's going to throw up lobs and stuff to the bigs. So we'll see. I don't feel any different about the Cavs, to be honest with you. Um, Winning playoff series, they'll probably win one playoff series again, and then they'll probably lose the second, I think, and then they'll have to make some decisions. Are they going to re-sign Harden? They're probably going to extend Donovan Mitchell because he's going to need money. So I don't think that it just changed. I don't think it changes the outlook on the Cavs um, by any means. Now, what I do think could happen that could change the outlook on the East is the Celtics and Tatum. Tatum has been cleared to start practicing with the G League team. So the Celtics are already the 3 seed at 34-19, kind of going under the radar, right? Now, if they get him for the playoffs, they're automatically my favorite to win the East, above the Pistons and above the Knicks. So, and then you already know what's going on in the West. There's about 4 or 5 teams in the West that could beat the East. So unfortunately, I don't think this Cavs team's championship caliber. I'm sorry to the Cavs fans.
Yeah, I don't think they're championship caliber, but it's more about the opportunity in the East right now for me. I just don't see a team that I really believe in where I'm like, this is the team. Like we got the Pistons at the number one spot. Who would have saw that coming? And then we got Knicks at number two. Knicks, I feel how you feel about Donovan Mitchell. I feel that way about Jalen Brunson. I don't think they'll ever be able to get over the hump with him as their best player. I think that Mitchell has, in my opinion, Mitchell has more ability to get his teammates involved than Brunson does. If we're comparing those two teams and overall the teams in general, I think New York, they got that like tough, gritty team. They got real good chemistry. But yeah, I don't believe in Jalen Brunson to get all the way. I also don't believe in Karl Anthony Towns to get all the way. Cavaliers, I don't truly believe in them as much either. But out of all those teams, the player that I believe in the most, because they're all improving, except for like you said, except for the Celtics, I believe in Donovan Mitchell more than any of those guys. Jason Tatum, we'll see how he does coming off an injury. The Celtics, this is a different team than we've seen them have over the last couple of years, and they've made some deep runs. So I have no idea what to expect when the playoff time comes, especially with Jason Tatum getting back in the loop. So, but as long as they have Tatum and as long as they have Brown, I mean, of course, they're going to have a chance. So I do like the Celtics to be right there if Jason Tatum comes back and does well. So I would say for me, out of the East, I would go with either the Cavs or the Celtics would be my pick. Um,
Yeah,
Anyone after the 4 seed, probably I wouldn't even think about Raptors, Sixers, Magic, sorry, Heat,
nah, it's all
Hawks,
good.
Hornets. Yeah, not feeling any of those teams. So yeah, I think the only teams I'm really believing in is the Celtics, Cavaliers, and maybe the Knicks,
Yeah,
but probably not.
it's in the NBA. Home court is very, very important. Um, I think you literally have to be like the 1 or 2 seed if you think you're going to win the NBA championship. Like I looked it up in the past. I can look it up here again in a second. But if you don't have home court advantage, it shows. Like your 6 seeds don't win NBA championships. 5 seeds don't win. 4 seeds don't win NBA championships. Like you got to be a 1 or 2 seed. So no offense taken about my Magic. I'm a realist. Where that's why I didn't even mention them.
Yeah, I don't
I
think
have
it's I would say I don't think it's home court advantage as much as the better team just normally wins because they have to play seven. You have to beat someone 4 times. So if you're playing someone best of seven, typically the better team wins. So if you're the number 1 seed, number 2 seed, you're probably the better team than the number 5 or number 6 seed.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm thinking of the Magic versus the Cavs 2 years ago. Every game, it was the home team won, and it was a completely different. And maybe it's because I'm a Magic fan, but this team has been this way since I've been a fan. And it's even this year. They're 16-8 at home, 10-14 away. This team is a completely different team at home. And then when they go away, they're a completely different team. And it was that way with the Cavs too. Cavs were getting dogged by the Magic when they played in Orlando. The juices were flowing. It just helped them out so much.
Yeah, it is
And
weird how much of a big deal it is, but still, like you would assume if Oklahoma City played Orlando 7 times in Orlando, they would probably still win the series. Like that's just how I'm looking at
that's a
it.
tough, yeah, that's an outlier. That's like the best team. So that's tough to say
Yeah,
that in
in
that.
the NBA because it's a 7 game series, the better team almost always wins. Like, yeah, if the teams are very close, then the home court advantage plays a huge role. So it always does play a role. But that's why March
Yeah,
Madness is so cool because you just have to just beat someone one time, and there is no home court advantage. Yeah, March Madness is definitely amazing, but it's so hard in basketball. Like, imagine in football if you had to play. Obviously, 7 games is crazy for football, but like if you had to just
yeah,
beat a team twice, like that would be wild.
yeah. I'm looking it up now. NBA teams win 60 to 65% of home games in the regular season. So like that is that's a big percentage. And then it says in playoffs, home teams still win more often, especially game sevens. So, but I get your point too. I was just saying, yeah, I don't. I'm a realist. You know, I felt a strong sensation about the Broncos being a good team the whole year, and I said it the entire year. And that's and they were a good team, and they proved themselves. But Orlando, it's not just bias. Oh, we're going to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. I don't have the feeling that they're that type of team. So yeah, I got yeah, I don't got the Magic doing too much. I am going to take the Celtics no matter what because even without Tatum, they're a good team. They got a good coach. They got they play team ball and sleepy pickup Vucevic. They picked up center from Chicago Bulls. So they got a squad, and I'm taking them out of the East right now. I don't see anybody else beating them. And then the West, yeah, the West is. I'm not going to write in the Oklahoma City Thunder because they were in a game 7, right? And they against the Nuggets. They were a game away from not winning an NBA championship last year. So the people don't forget that. They didn't dominate
Yeah, and
everybody,
they were
okay?
playing against Denver with like all banged up. Remember, Aaron Gordon was over there limping around, couldn't even jump.
Yeah.
Yeah, that game,
Yeah.
yeah,
He
that
had like a torn
Denver.
muscle.
Yeah, and then you got to look at what's happening this year with the Spurs. The Spurs have beat them like 3, 4 times, bro. I don't know. I think it's been 3 times. I don't think they play each other that much, but I think they beat
Yeah.
them 3 times, if I'm not mistaken. So they got their number. So that's just a bad matchup for them. It looks like. But yeah, the West
Yeah.
is a beast. You got, I would say, the top three: Thunder, Spurs, and Nuggets. Those
Houston ain't no
three.
slouch.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Houston's definitely not. But I was just thinking about the teams that I felt like if I had to say who
Yeah.
was going to come out, and I don't know about the Spurs. I feel like the Spurs they're balling, but they're young, so it's hard for me to say that they're going to do it. But Oklahoma City, we said that about them last year, and they achieved it. So yeah, I would say the Nuggets. I still really believe in Jokic. Unfortunately, the Lakers, they're sitting at the 5 seed. They're just playing for show. They look good, but then they look horrible. They just don't have enough defense to get them anywhere. And LeBron's too old to be relied upon as the second best player on a championship team. So I'm thinking that the safe bet for me would probably be the Thunder, but it's something about, like you said, what happened to them last year and these other teams coming. I think it's just going to be hard for them to get out of there again, especially if they figure out to mess around and get the second seed. If the Spurs can get the 1 seed, I think that would really make it tough for them to beat the Spurs, given what we've seen so far in that matchup. And then the Nuggets, that would also be a tough matchup for them based on what we saw last year. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think, and then you can go back 1 year before that. Let's say they have to play the Lakers or the Thunder, or not the Thunder, or the Rockets in the playoffs as well. Like we saw what Luka did to them 2 years ago when he played for Dallas. Luka could have one of those moments where you just can't be stopped. Like there's definitely some hurdles that
Just
they're
say
gonna
they
have to get
play
over.
Curry. Play Curry's the Warriors are the 8 seed. Say they play the Thunder play him round 1. Curry's capable of getting them a game or maybe
Yeah,
2 and stretching
yeah,
it out. I mean, not winning the series, but making
yeah.
it longer than it needs to be.
That's true. Yeah,
So,
you're right. You're right. Like the number 1 seed in the East doesn't really have to worry about, losing 2, 3 games to the 8 seed or the 7 seed, whatever. So you're right
yeah,
about that. Like even the first round could be tough. It will be tough. Like who's
it's
the Suns? I
it's the
don't know about the
Warriors.
Suns, but Minnesota. We're not even looking at Minnesota. Like
6,
Minnesota's
yeah.
yeah, that's a tough matchup for a lot of teams. So like, yeah, there's a lot going on over there in the West, but we know that now. The West has been like that for a while.
I wonder why. It's warm weather and sunny for
Yes, who
for the
you ain't
most
gotta tell
part.
me.
Cool, awesome. This was a great pod. We have some homework. I want to give you some homework for this week as we transition into the NBA. I know you're a busy man. You're moving. But whatever you can, whenever you can, even if it's just looking at box scores every day of the games, try to watch some NBA this week. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna try to watch some more games. Football's done, so we don't have any excuses. Our homework is we gotta get back into the ball. So try to follow the league and keep up on some games and do the best you can.
Definitely, bro. And I'm gonna go ahead and share my bets. We got to get our short form content platform out, whether we're going to use YouTube Shorts or whatever. But I think we need to start a little bet series because since I'm back in Ohio, I can do it legally.
you,
I won my first bet. I won my first bet of the year. You know what I'm saying? So
You could
here we
donate
go.
some money now, you're back in
Yeah,
Ohio, you're back to your donating man, I get it.
yeah. Hey, I did $10 for the Super Bowl. I made some money back, so I'm gonna use that money. If I lose that money, I'll probably have to chill out for a sec. But hey, right now we up. So so far this year we up. So right now I did I put my $10 tonight on a parlay for the Pistons to win, and who was the other team I picked? What
So
my
what are we
best?
doing?
I'm
We're just doing $10. We don't even have the format yet. Let me see
no,
here.
I was saying just start with $10 and see what happens.
$10. So we playing the honor system, like don't what if I lose? We have to tell each other our bets,
No,
basically.
no, we have to show every bet we do to our social media platform before like as we're betting it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we
So we're
can't show
doing
after.
$10 and then seeing how much we can grow it. Do you want to do it per week or per month?
No, no, no. So the concept that I had before, we could talk about this and see what we want to do. But the concept I had was like we have $10, right?
Yeah.
And that's it. So if we lose it, we're done. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? And if we can start, we can like reset once we both are done. Like if we both lose our $10 or something, or like whatever, we can figure out the details. But I was just thinking like we start with $10 and see what happens. Maybe we can make it just a month, so it's like more numbers on it. So it's like we have $10. What can we do with $10 in a month? If we lose it, we're done until the month is over. We'll see what the other person did, and then
So if you bet your 10, I bet my 10 tonight, you bet your 10 tonight, and my money line wins, but you lose all 10, I could just be like, well, I'm not betting anymore. I
no,
won. You basically, because
I don't. No, I don't want it to be necessarily like a competition against us. Like that's part of it, but it's really just to see like what we can do with $10. So you would want to keep going. Yeah, you know
okay.
what I'm saying? Like we
Okay.
still trying to
Yeah.
go. It's not like
Okay.
between you and I who's winning. It's just see what happens with $10.
Okay.
But damn, if I lose tonight, I would be salty because I didn't think we were doing this. So I would have put like 5 on the game if I knew we were doing this.
Well, I mean, we don't have nothing's official. I'm gonna get on Chat GPT when we get off the phone here and come up with a
a
concept
real
of
strategy,
how
a
to do
real
this. Yeah, with
tournament
rules
thing.
and
All right. Well, how
regulations.
about this? Let's do 20. We'll do 20 since I already did 10.
And okay, yeah, I'll text you how this is gonna work out.
All right, so let me see. So
We'll
I
talk
did,
about it. I'll see what you think. Is what I'm trying to say.
yeah, I did tonight. I did Detroit Pistons. They were minus 140 to win at Charlotte tonight. And then I parlayed that with Minnesota to beat the Hawks in Minnesota. That was minus 400. So it ended up being plus 114. I liked my odds with both of those teams. Obviously, the Detroit's only lost 13 games. I don't know why they're minus 140. Probably it might have been an
The
injury
Hornets have
report
been
thing. So
playing well lately, dude.
I know they've been playing well, but Detroit's only lost 13 games. I still have faith that they're going to win this game. And then
Yeah,
Minnesota against the Hawks. The Hawks they're just not very good. Minnesota's good at home. So we'll see. $10 for 21 return. I'll take it.
my boys play tonight. Play the Bucks. Maybe I'll do 10 on the Magic. Favored by 9.5. I don't know, man.
Ooh.
The last game they played, they were playing the Jazz. I don't know if you saw this. They were playing the Jazz. They were getting boat raced by the Jazz. Third quarter, Jazz
Mm.
were up like 16 points. the Jazz pull all their starters for the entire fourth quarter, and Magic come back and win, and people were like ticks because they're like, that's blatant, like
Wow.
tanking. Like
Yeah.
they started Jaren Jack they had Jaren Jackson, their new guy, because they traded for him. They had him out the whole fourth quarter after they got a big old lead because they were tanking, and people were like, this is messed up, like this is blatant. I'm like,
Yeah, it's
man, we
like
can't even.
Utah has been trying to do what OKC has done, but they're just not successful with it.
Yeah, it's not easy. That's why I say, even like going back to football, I was talking to Joel about this yesterday. I'm like, I'll never get down with the like we were talking about the Steelers. I'll never get down with the like, let's just have a bad quarterback, a bad year. We'll have a good draft pick. That don't guarantee you nothing, man. I'll never get behind that mentality ever. So, um, there's the teams that do make it work, but there's also the Browns and teams that get first round picks every year that are high, and it never works out for them. So,
That's true. Poor Browns.
poor Browns, yeah. Good luck with
The thing
them,
is,
man.
like with the Browns, like I like Shador, but I don't think he's the dude. Like I'm like stuck with the Browns. Like, bro, what are they doing? Like, they're gonna try to. I guess go ahead, give him another year, see what happens. But man, oh, the Browns. I'm gonna root for him.
Good
Come on,
luck.
Shador. Let's go, Shador.
Yeah.
I want him to succeed so bad, bro.
They just need some continuity. It seems there's the turnover rates there. They're like a company that has a new employee every other week. You can't do that. So they'll learn one day. Um, but yeah, all right, man. Good talking, good chatting.
Yes, sir.
All right,
We'll have to link
Deuce.
up
We'll
here
be back
soon in
next
person.
week. Yeah, for
Yep.
sure. Actually, I'm going back to Dayton next weekend, so maybe I can stop by.
Okay, cool. Yeah, just let me know
You
what's
say,
up.
why you say,
I might.
uh
I said, oh, I might have to. I was about to say, oh, I might have to recruit you to help me with this move.
oh shoot, I don't got time for
See,
that, but
see, that's why I said. That's why I
I
said,
don't
uh
got
oh.
time for
It's a
that. I'm going back on Friday for my great grandma passed away. She was 98 though, so great life. But yeah, we're going to her
what's his
funeral, and then meeting. Thank you, and then meeting with my uncle, who's going to be the officiant. So we got to go over a plan of what he's going to say, and so um, I truly don't know if I have time, but I'll hit you up and see if I have any time, extra time.
that sounds good, bro. Cool.
So
We'll be in contact.
yes, sir. Safe travels when you travel back.
Yeah, let me know about this. What we're gonna do with this bet stuff, and maybe we can try to get our short form content rolling.
Yeah, I'll let you know here in about 10 minutes.
Yes, sir. Peace, y'all. Thanks for
Peace.
listening.